If you're still the chairman today, it's not finished.
IPOB.
One family.
IPOB.
One family.
One family.
IPOB.
Ohamadike. Dalo again for being in our midst. We see now. I better go. The buyer is in only can I go on open so he can have woman now. Opori before John he can go. I'm a little now your member side never because I have for the care where I have nearly a for the faga or for my buy a melon bottle because I said go again to Japan. Now Okuiji here Japan. And animals you welcome Bezioku, but Japan is your home. Ever members. Yeah. I need a Fife. You are always at home when you are here. So I'm say, Chineke Dubia, Lupa Onaga. Na IPOB anyị na-agba mbọ ya bụ Biafra na mgbe na-etere aka na Chukwu ya eme oke nsogbu anyị na-emegere abịa n'isi njedebe so ọ na-asị nnọọ again you are welcome. Thank you very much.
IPOB. IPOB.
One family.
One family.
IPOB.
I am glad to be in your midst. It's a town hall meeting, so you have to indulge me. I'll sit down. There will be a lot of questions this evening which I have to answer. And we will try and do also this evening what we couldn't do yesterday. In an orderly fashion, we'll be able to take some group and personal photographs afterwards, because I recognize you've been waiting for a very long time, and I do sincerely apologize. Anybody that knows me understands that I don't play with time. When I broadcast, I try to come on air on time. I don't like going to events late, those that know me. So I do apologize, and I can see the fact that you've waited here to see me this evening goes to testify as to your determination and your resoluteness, your affection for the restoration of Biafra, and your willingness to do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra is restored. For that, I am very grateful and shall remain grateful to Japan. Biafra will not be run on a late timetable, I can assure you. We will be a different nation altogether from other African nations. And from today, anytime we have an event and we give a time, if we say 4 o'clock, even if it's only the bartender there, we start at that 4 o'clock. Very important thing. The rest can come later. That's what we should start doing from now onwards. And thank you very much. It's a town hall meeting. People were meant to ask questions yesterday. Today is their time to ask questions, and I'll be willing to entertain them. When you ask, I will answer as honestly as I always have done in the past. Thank you very much.
IPOB.
One family.
IPOB.
One family.
One family.
IPOB.
Please, we have to go straight to the point, and then those who have questions should come up with their urge. Okay. Okay, I'm making.
I can assure you, we know director is tired, and I can assure you that everything will take place faster. Today, we're at town hall meeting. And because they have a town hall meeting,
Any Tokamania? Huh? Okay. I will go back. I will speak English for sure, but you remember, Kola North does not speak English. It only speaks vernacular. Mazi to see. Honorable Kereke, Ngwano, Mezukuya, Mwangi Nukuya.
Thank you very much. Onyisi, Oji Abiakwana, because present you do the call, Oji Luo. Thank you very much. Because the bias and Otutu Quadron or Campbell. Obonichi, Chichipolo, way for the name, because while I don't know, I'm in your tonight. A day duty to our lawyer. When I see go, I got straight to the way I watch. What will I have for now? Abako. Okay, I'm on or Bologna got why I watch. Only the old wood, I must because IPOB, one family, Oje does not represent control him. Enzo, well, logic, a call lie because Mama, has his own way.
IPOB. Thinking, if I can, Chineke spoke a piano. If I na chop, I cannot as na only from what I will hear came. Ife na-aga n'ihu ndị nwekwa ndị achụ ha n'iso anyị ha na-asọpọtụ anyị ha na-enyere ha na-akwado anyị ife na-aga n'ihu enweghị m ọtụ ụkwụ ife nna anyị Chukwu oke abịa nwa ya mezuola anyị ka anyị bụ n'obi ya mere anyị ife anyị bụ n'obi ka anyị wee ike na-aba anyị n'afa Chukwu oke abịa nwa
ọzọ nwa Amalodo Oya menji kwe si de mwemde go so that the was a map ta kama maga wonyi bo no kama na mpolo maka ndị na-abịara yesterday director kwuru ezigbote okwu nya mana due to time factors we couldn't receive any questions. And they had a town hall meeting. Yesterday was an occasion, but today it was a town hall meeting. And why do we call it a town hall meeting? It is a place we share our ideas, we contribute ideas about the restoration of Biafra. It doesn't matter if you were there yesterday or not, but what matters is what question do you have, what idea do you have to contribute to this town hall meeting to make the restoration of Biafra a successful one. That is why the director is here today to take these questions. Makana, owo yo go chona upon a street and I say, Kehemere Kemena. Owo that now what yanka. Why no make you ta? Mono why you make you ta? Oh, I am not here. As meet no money. Upon the corner. ya ma ya bitu ụmụnna dị ọwasị anyị mara atụmatụ bụ ere a ga-atụ ga-eme ka ihe a na-emega n'iru anyị atụ ya enwekwana ajụjụ anyị ga-ajụ ya ihe gbagwojuru anyị anya anyị ajụọ ya because na anyị nwa nwunye Igbo bi Japan anyị hụrụ nwaanyị n'anya ihe awụtụ ofu obodo ị ga-aga n'ụwa niile ị gaghị anụ na enwere ofu onye Igbo ya na-eyi nwanne ya mekọrọ ihe okwuru maka ego ga gbuo ya ọwasị ka m na-ekwu ma ọ sị ka o were gbaga gbagbuo nwanne ọwasị o mebeghị n'obodo a ọnya mere anyị ji biri n'obodo a n'udo and n'ihe ọgwụgwọ and the director Obiọma kpara m nne m ji gụrụkwa ihe a tute na-ekwu okwu na director si ya bụ obodo a n'anya and that n'ịhụnanya ahụ n'obodo a bịa ime increase onye m Obiọma dị iche so for that ọ kwere si gịnị broker so onye ọna ga-ajụ ajụjụ dị reasonable ajụjụ ma ị ga-enwekwa any question to ask you stop. Okay. So like as I said, if you have a good question, you just don't stand up and start asking questions. So if you have any question to ask, please raise up your hand and I will call you and I come with the mic, you ask your question and then the director will answer your question. Is that clear with us?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay, director, is it ready now? Thank you very much. So I go to you, the guy in the black suit. Yeah, okay. I come from the back.
IPOB, one family.
IPOB,
One family.
one family.
IPOB.
Aha m bụ Uche Christian Aja. Ahụ m onye isi agụ na Ebonyi steeti. Adakwa m IPOB member na Japan. Ebigo m n'obodo a for 17 years. And o nwere ihe m mụtara na Japan. Mere m gosi ka m bịa jụọ ajụjụ a to onye isi anyị Ọmadike. Ka o nwee ike kọwara anyị nwa nọ na Japan ihe anyị eme ga-enweta Biafra ka Biafra dị mma ka ndị ebe anyị hapụ ị na-agba ọsọ che na-anwụ n'ụzọ na-anwụ n'obodo oyibo. Director, ihe m chọrọ ịjụ ka ihe mbụ owu ihe anyị ga-eme n'ala Biafra ga-eme ka ọrụ dị n'ala Biafra ka ndị ebe anyị hapụ ị na-ahapụ che na-achụ ego n'obodo ndị ọzọ. Ihe awa ajụ m sị ka m jụọ.
ị mere nke ọma ebe ọ dị ukwuu na ajụjụ ị na-ajụ. Ihe mere ji na-agba mbọ a niile nwoke anyị ruo ezigbote obodo a ga-eji na-ama atụ, obodo ga-egosi mba ndị ọzọ nọ n'Afrịka ụzọ kama sụọ bekee maka ndị niile na we are going to build a very beautiful nation. Not the same rhetoric as the nationalists in Africa. You know, within the late 50s and early 60s, a lot of African countries became independent with very grand vision and ideas as to how to move the country forward, but nothing happened. The reason why nothing happened is because of that difficulties you have in black people lacking discipline. I need you to understand what I'm saying very, very carefully. If we go into, come here, Bozotobiko. Let me go out. If you have a nation like Biafra, and Britain comes and gives you money, or promises you, or they promise you the prime ministerial position. But your job is to undermine the government of, let's say, our chairman, that he will be the next president of Biafra. And you say no to them. That will give us a very solid foundation to build the type of nation that you want. But once you accept that mission to undermine the government of your brother, that will set the downfall of your nation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
We are coming here for I understand this very well. Every country in Africa had a very wonderful idea as to how to go forward, but all of them went backwards. You remember Mobutu Sese Seko? Do any of you here remember a man called Patrice Lumumba? Good. Do you know that the conglomerates you have in some Western countries went to Mobutu and asked him to overthrow the government of Patrice Lumumba? And he did it. And today, has Zaire gone forward or Congo? Have they moved forward?
No.
Do you know a man called Thomas Sankara? Do you know him?
Yes.
You know his friend, is he Blaise Compaoré? Is that correct? Yes. Am I getting the names right?
Yeah.
His best friend. Everybody knew that Sankara was doing very well. And killed him in the process. If we can resist that temptation in Biafra alone, no country on this earth will see our back, I assure you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
All the plan all the village, but you never built it. The plan is on paper. The problem that we have in Africa is translating what is written down into something tangible that you can see. Execution. All of you are aware that if you have been to Germany before, if you say, I'm sure even maybe in Japan, I don't know. If you say you're an engineer looking for a job in Germany, once you bring your certificate, you know what they do with it? They put it in a dustbin and give you overall to go and show them how you're an engineer. We will be very, very practical. And one thing we have going for us is that in Biafra land, engineers are born, they don't need to go to school. So we know what to do. Thank you.
Yes, that guy. Yeah, put it up.
Mazi, hello.
Thank you.
Few days ago, last week to be precise, my name is Nobis Muke. Few days ago, last week to be precise, we saw Mr. Tijani Mohammed Pandey ascended into the throne of Unga. So my question now is in two parts. Has Nigerian government has anything to do with the ascension, or did they influence it in any way? That is one. So another question there is, if Biafra struggle, in this Biafran struggle, has that presidency has anything to do, or is it going to undermine it a little bit, the ascension of that man? That's my question. And after that, I have one other one, please.
Let me answer this first one. You know, whilst we are busy trekking from the Sahara Desert to come to Europe, and all of us here looking for visa to come to Japan, some of us looking for visa to go to Europe, some to South Africa, some to Brazil, some to the Arab countries, some to the northern continent of America. The Fulani have been very busy planning for the next 200 years. Listen very carefully. As at the year 2009, the Fulani war chest to keep the zoo as one stood at $18 billion. As at today, that war chest has grown to $23 billion. Is a roundabout way to answer your question. Of course, they influenced it. There is Biafra raging everywhere. The whole world is talking about Biafra. Do you think the Japanese government doesn't know about Biafra? Everybody knows about Biafra. So they do what they do best. They bribe, they intimidate, they cajole, they threaten countries, and they bribe diplomats. Have I not said that before? Every diplomat from USA, from Britain, from Canada, once you're from an advanced country, now you come to the zoo, you become a millionaire. Zainab, what is it, Mohammed? They have been doing their job at the UN. They think that if they announce Bande, or whatever his name is, as the UN General Assembly president or whatever, that will dampen our spirit and diminish us. But I went to the UN in Geneva, and in the not too distant future, I'll go to the UN also in New York to address them. So the zoo will do everything they can within their powers to stop what we are doing. Because Fulani produce nothing. They contribute nothing to the economy. So why would they give up the oil and gas that they control? Why would they give up political power just like that? Have you not heard that they plan to change the constitution? Unanubeye. So that Jubril from Sudan can continue. You've not heard it?
No, we have heard.
You've seen them or you've heard them humiliating the Yoruba man, Oshibajo.
Yes.
Has heaven fallen since then?
Never.
Huh?
Nothing.
You were there, they gave Fulani headsmen, murderers and killers and terrorists 100 billion. How much did they vote for school and hospitals? 51 billion. But they gave 100 billion to killers. You can't do anything. Yoruba cannot do anything. Middle Belt cannot do anything. But IPOB is doing something. They are prepared. They are prepared. So they are behind it. And we'll be seeing similar stunts from everywhere. They try to stop me from seeing Israeli businessmen and parliamentarians in Israel because they picked an Israeli and gave him a contract and said to him, NNAMDI KANU is in Israel, try and see what you can do to scatter it. They didn't succeed. They will never succeed. Don't be afraid of them. They are afraid of us. And we have them at IG. I'm telling you the truth. So they will keep trying. They will keep trying. They went to Indonesia and asked the Indonesian government to clamp down on our people. Even what is happening in South Africa, I won't be too surprised. Because they ask the politicians, who gives these people money? Who gives them the kind of money to be doing these things? And they said no one. They said, oh no, it must be those people in South Africa, in Indonesia, in Malaysia. That is why they are killing our people in all those places. Don't you know that? That's what the zoo is doing. The sovereign state, they are protected under international law because UN says you cannot intervene or interfere in the domestic affairs of any other country. You don't know that? So what we have accomplished so far is a milestone in the history of freedom fighting, I can assure you. And we're not going to stop until this very flag is raised up high and we are
Thank you very
very much for the concrete answer given. Mazi, another question is this. China is an indigenous country like ours, and they play a vital role in this world economy right now. So, my question is, how has the acceptance of IPOB been in China, and how do you intend to relate for the development or whatever help China will bring to Biafra land? Thank you.
Another very important question, and you must also listen very carefully to the answer that I give you. China has an interest in the zoo because the zoo is owing them money. Zoo is able to think about $64 billion or so. So if keeping Nigeria one means that Ghana will get, that China will get their investments back, then that's what they have to do. It's called national interest. But at the same time, I have reassured the Chinese government that their consideration for a possible support for Biafra should not be hinged on the ability or inability of the zoo called Nigeria to pay back the money they're owing China, because Biafra will pay it. Biafra will pay it. I don't want China to say that Nigeria is owing us money, because of that, let's hold Nigeria together and prevent the emergence of Biafra. We are saying to them that we will pay. Everything the zoo is saying we will pay. Because you know in a billion years the zoo cannot pay back. It's not possible. Fulani work. Do they go to work? I'm asking you. No, since you were born, have you heard of a Fulani engineer before? No. Have you heard of a Fulani poet before? No. Have you heard of a Fulani novelist before?
No. They're lazy men.
But they're the ones ruling you. And you can now understand what we are doing. People don't know what IPOB is doing because they have refused to reason and think properly. We will pay China back, and we are going to run a very open, transparent economy. We want inward investment from everywhere. From this Japan, from Israel, from USA, from Canada, from the EU, every country that has something to contribute. We welcome it into Biafra land. And then our seaports will be working. Our airports will be working. Some of you don't know that they closed our airport in Enugu and promised to Mahi that they open one in Ebonyi. Eh? Are you following what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. They closed down Enugu airport. And when the governors were asking, but how do we come back to our land? They said, oh, don't worry. In the year 2042, a new one will open near Abakaliki. Now you're forced to go back through Lagos or Abuja and then start the perilous journey by road back to where we come from. Do you understand it? Yes. And the more you keep quiet, the more they heap iniquity upon iniquity on your head. We are here today because Ohaneze failed. After the war, they formed Ohaneze with the greatest respect to another fine Ebonyi son, and the son of Biafra, Dr. KANU, had good intentions. All the Sabo came into Ohaneze, took Ohaneze. Kaduna Airport was meant to be in a way. Kaduna Airport. Agadaba Chiloso, if you know him very well, Badiwe, sold it to Kaduna. If you don't know, I will tell you. And because you sold your birthright to Kaduna, Fulani can take away your seaports, they take away your roads, they take away your airport. So there is no direct flight. Listen, no direct flight from anywhere from Biafra land to outside. But ordinary Mina, in Niger State, ordinary Kebbi State, Kebbi, that contributes nothing to the economy, they fly outside. Direct. We that have all the resources and the manpower, we run the economy. The zoo rests on us. We have the oil and we have the gas and they take it for free. On top of that, common flight we don't have. Ship will come to stop in Lagos. Instead of opening Warri, Iguacha and Calabar and dredging the Niger, they are planning to build another one in Badagry. And you're telling me that there is something normal about us. I don't blame Awusa. I don't blame Fulani because Hausa no longer exists. I blame all of us. In your land there is no airport. All over Japan, all of you from different cities in Japan, you have airports everywhere, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Why, if you're not happy, even if you are apathetic to what IPOB is doing, why can't you rise up and ask questions? Why don't we have any functioning airport in our land? We don't ask. Simple question. Why must I land in Yoruba land to come to my land? Why must I land in Abuja? Why? Let's wait till honestly.
Next question. Next question, please. Next person. Next question. Okay. Give him the line.
Onyendu ekele m Muhammadike Biafra. Afọ mbụ Azubike Henry from Mgbidi, Oru West Local Government of Biafra. Ihe m chọrọ ịjụ bụ from Otinye Silaga, from the trend of things, all the very clear that in no time all of us will be celebrating Biafra. Ma ndị zoo ọ chọrọ ya ma ha achọghị o mezugo omego egbeboro mana ihe na-enyetụ m obere consign m chọrọ ịjụ ebe a taa bụ enwere other groups bụkwa ụmụnne anyị ndị Biafra laalụkwa laza in different names pro Biafra groups. Kedu otu IPOB that has formed the majority will manage these other groups to avoid internal crisis? Okay, Biafra, because all
thank you very much for your question. I think a journalist asked me the same question a few days ago about Masop and Wazirike, and I answered it. That the history of the modern agitation for Biafra will not be complete without the name of Wazirike being mentioned. I said that very clearly, which is a compliment. And about the other groups, we also recognize what they are doing. And we will encourage them to continue to do that. Some of them have come to us and we have reached out to them. And we are working to harmonize things. But there is one very serious problem that we have with the mushrooming of groups. When I came out of prison, NNAMDI led a group of pro-Biafra groups to my house. I don't know if some of you read the newspaper. Yes. To pledge loyalty. They said they wanted to collapse. I said no, answer individual names. Then we can all work together. But the reason why we are the way we are in IPOB is because we are puritanical, very principled in what we do. We are not going to change tomorrow. What you see today is what you will see until Biafra is restored. It will never change. Now, my concern is this. Let me just tell you what the issues are. Rather than always people coming to us, which is a very good thing anyway, to try and reach out to all these groups, they must understand that we are indigenous people of Biafra. It encompasses everybody. What stops our deputy national coordinator from breaking away tomorrow? Okay, can I hit you up on your group? What name do you want to give it? And then people will come and say, oh, go and engage him. We want to stop this fragmentation. If you have any views or ideas you think can move Biafra forward, you bring it and implement it. That's how I operate. Most of the things I do is not from me. It is from your idea. Some of you write, some of you email me, some of you send me WhatsApp messages. And if it's a good idea, we run with it. Nobody knows, no one person knows everything. Is that possible? If they have good ideas as well, we will incorporate it. And I'm sure we shall meet it. I went to America, I can call them in Kabak. I've not said this thing anywhere before. Some elders met me in America and said, can I see a particular person? After saying no for a while, I said, okay. After they pressured me, I said, I'll say. I asked the elders, this group you want me to see, how many are there in that group? They said they don't know. I said, ask them how many they are. It turns out that the person they want me to see is a one-man band. One bandit roaming about everywhere. One person. And I said to the people, can you ask a tiny country like Belize or Solomon Islands, and you ask the USA to go and beg them? Is that done? No. They have to apply to be the 51st state of America. Only one person. I asked them, how many rallies have they organized? How many protests have they participated in? How have they helped Biafra? In which form? They couldn't answer me. I said, all these things apart, I will see this very person. We were meant to meet on the 5th of July, 2019. I was in my hotel room in New York, getting ready to go and board a flight to Houston. And I still have the text message here. I can show the chairman, never, because some of my work at home, chairman Amaka. I like him, chairman. The messages are here. They wrote, what is he? They asked us what we are doing about other groups. The message is here. The message came on around the 3rd of July, asking me to cancel my flight to Houston. That the person I'm coming to see, also, is nowhere to be found. Also, I lost my ticket. The messages are here. On one hand, we're not quarreling, we're not fighting. But what we're saying to them is that if you can do half of what IPOB has done, I will leave IPOB and I'll follow you. I said half. Half. Have you seen freedom fighters before who are in good terms with their persecutor? Have you ever seen before?
No. No.
There are only 3 places where a freedom fighter belongs, if you're truthful. In the grave, in prison, or in exile. Only 3 places. Either you are in the grave, martyred, which could have happened to me, or you are in prison, which I have been to, or you are in exile, which I'm on now. Where are they? Child freedom fighters. So to help. What can they bring to the, apart from the name, what can you bring to the table? Some started before us, they claim. We started before you. But the UN building never since have they been there? EU has been there, have they been there before? Since you know that IPOB can do what you can never do, why don't you come and join us? Because we don't want you.
Next question, please. Yeah.
IPOB, one family. My name is Nelson Arenzechi from Arifite. Onye isi, biko ajụjụ nchọrọ ịjụ bụ anụgo gị several occasions ị na-ekwu okwu na redio. Ị na-mention people they involved na this Biafra from other states. Kogi, Benue, Calabar, Akwa Ibom, Delta, and so on and so forth. My question is, how do you synergize with these people to adapt to the motive of this organization? Because recently we have not seen any champion from these areas championing this occasion, championing the future of Biafra. They have not been seen. Let me put it like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. There are a lot of people from all across Biafra land working very hard. The reason why we decided to keep their name away from public glare is to protect them from the harsh realities of zoo brutalization or their families back home. Do you understand now? We don't want them to become victims of zoo wicked and evil persecution. Because what the zoo does is to persecute people, to discourage others from coming forward. And we don't want that to happen. We have them all over the place. I had a meeting with Ijo elders exactly 2 weeks ago and 4 days. And I know what they told me. I had meetings with people you will never believe from the so-called Niger Delta. They are part and parcel of what we are doing. And even the Middle Belt want to join us as well. These are people who are outside Biafra. They also want to come in. We don't want to unduly expose people. We want it to be the frontline people in DOS alone because we're used to it. You know that the army and the police are surrounding my house in the village. Are you aware of that? Yes. How many of you can endure that? How many of you can? That is the problem. So we are protecting them. But once we get very close, then they will emerge. Don't worry about that. And don't listen to some people saying that we don't have people in DOS from Iboyi. They are lying. We have them. I assure you. Thank you very much.
When you say good evening, Afambo Jerry Opuchupu Mweka from Ogidi, the million of local government area of the zoo. Sorry. Because when you say when you were or word of like advice or because now I'm not town hall meeting, which I can't show you. On a room I know see so many times. Man Japan now, man Nigeria. Okay. I speak in English, but I didn't go to school well.
It's okay.
So I've been hearing many rumors concerning some secret things we don't supposed to put in social media. And those rumors have been battling me because sometimes people say that Mazi talks too much, that there are some certain things he doesn't supposed to say in the national media or anywhere in the world. So I want to ask, is it possible before we go to social media, to map out some certain things you're supposed to broadcast and the one you're not supposed to broadcast before you go to the media. That's one question. Second one is, honestly, when I said, and at my age, I thought I would know if you. If Biafra comes, is there any possible means we will create a leader? Because I quite understand that other states or tribes in the zoo have a leader that when he comes out and say and talk, other people will listen to him and obey him. No matter his age or his pocket or his bank account, they write about him and they say what advice he gave to his people. We don't have it in Igbo land. So I want to ask, can we, Igbo people, abide and respect a single person who will map out as a leader so we can obey? When he calls us to stop, we stop. When he tells us to move, then we move. That's my question.
Thank you very much. But I will start from the last one. You're aware of the 30th of May sit at home?
Yes.
Yes. Are you aware that an order was given from prison and was obeyed? From prison yard. There was total lockdown. We asked our people to boycott Anambra elections and they did. Only about 3% voted in Anambra. If we don't have any leader or we don't have a movement that champions the aspirations and the wishes of our people, will the zoo be panicking? No. Did you hear what Father Bemonso said a few days ago? Who here heard it?
Yes. We did.
Did you hear it?
No.
I don't know if it can be played here. Can it be played? Do they have any Bluetooth here?
Yeah. About negotiation.
Find it. And then you hear Monso what he said. Our people are now under one command. One simple command. People say Igbo Wednesday to try to justify their own prejudice, their own envy, their own jealousy. Not you, others. Why not me? They hold on to Igbo Wednesday to justify their own prejudice they have inside. That's what happens to us. Do you want me to show you that our people Wednesday?
Yes.
We can do another one. Continue sit at home next week Wednesday. We will lock everywhere down. In Biafra land. I didn't say Igbo land, so. The whole of the Kechia Yatowo. Zuna Bayarik and we are down. Look right down. We don't want to abuse our powers. Is it because we allow them to be leading us? We don't want that. Our people are under one command and coming to secrecy. You are all Republicans. Which means before you follow IPOB, you must know what you're following. Is that not true?
Yeah.
You must know what you're following now, isn't it? Yeah. And in the process of knowing, you ask questions. And when I say I won't answer you, say, no, when you hear the name. Do you see that Americans impeach their president in the open? They call for inquiry in the open because America is a Republican society, they're a republic. But in Britain, in Russia, in other places where you don't quite know what you're getting, it's not in secret. To you, today they are calling for impeachment of Trump. To us, maybe thinking, oh, it's a big shame. No, to them it's normal politics. So there are some things you want to know before you follow me on IPOB, isn't it? Yes, sir. If I tell you now, imagine that we went to UN and I come out and I will tell you when to you, and you say, oh, we've had it before. Oh, yeah, isn't it? So that is what we tell you. But I'm sure that by the time we get close to Biafra restoration, we would have built up sufficient trust that anything we tell you, you believe. And I'm at once, I don't lie. I don't. I am under oath before God in heaven, and I don't lie. And that is why Biafra will come under our watch. We have secret. And as I said, that was why those that tried to break IPOB couldn't. There are three things that we know. Them, they know one. Uche, my former deputy, knows only two. I am the one that knows all three.
Only two.
Onyendu, Ngebubo Ufwana, Jajija. I'm Chief Sir Raymond Ugochukwu Sole. I'm Onyaba, na Biafra land. This movement, yeni na neme na tomoto. But I became officially a IPOB member. But I may my support OTK Kwerem. Oh, there is something about them because as Otunshi Dere and the young man understand one. I like to anything I say. And my choice how well I'm trying. I try to find out. Okay, so my more opportunity to find out. If I don't have the opportunity, I can now try to use a common sense. Join judge thing. So I have more opportunity to see you face to face. Actually, I'm very to read this question because it's just something even when on social media or I'm not going to rumor. Now you have been offered. No one be na captivity or prison that you are offered to go with 5 states, the Igbo states. That if you agree to go, it's okay. Like the Africa will come to, but they will give you the states. The kind of number one question. The number two, the job people who Biafra. Before I was in a good relationship with their leader, or Asalem Takubo, which I have known. I have had him talk on your behalf. But to my greatest surprise, recently, I saw a video posted on social media criticizing you, cascading you, trying to make people to feel that what you are doing, it is not what you agree on. So, it can join face to face. Or when any problem personal with him, or jealousy, as a in human being, who here with the problem. That's my question, please.
Thank you very much. Yes, is the answer to the first question. I was in prison in Kuje when they came, and they made the offer to me, and I said no, because the 5 states does not even contain all Igbo-speaking people. Can you hear me very well? The 5 states they are talking about does not include every Igbo person. Because there are Igbo people in Akwa Ibom, in Cross River, in Benue, in Kogi, in Delta, in Edo, in Rivers. I said no. And I read Ojubu's papers at Aburi. I know the way they negotiate. If I say yes to it, they say, oh, why don't you take autonomy? I say yes to autonomy. They say, oh, why don't you take Abia and Imo only? I say, okay. They'll say, why don't you take only Abia? That's what they did to Ojukwu. I know them. So I dismissed them. I told them, no. I not only want Biafra of the old map. I want to add a gala and a doma in it. Do you understand? Yes. And when I left that meeting, one of the warders was listening. He's from Kogi State. He came to my cell and was shaking me, telling me when I'm leaving here, I should take him with me. And coming to your second question, I don't discuss individuals unless they are politicians in the zoo making our life difficult. But out of courtesy and respect to you and to this gathering here, I can categorically tell you that I have no issues with anyone. People may have issues with me, but I don't have issues with them. My focus is Biafra. Thank you very much.
I want two questions, but one of my questions. Sorry, I am a High Chief Christian Okafo. High Chief Christian Okafo. Much the Mele Kids is no bo. You put me one hitubo. I could personally know Zawa. But the whole large to about one of our woman. Doesn't at the Pamba was the billionaire MC. But I want to go. That's true. Mazi, how did you tell one of the questions so about Asari Tokobo? And they can see how IPOB member. Or move from IPOB Chinchiko. It's up my birthright. Each of you Mazi, or more Borun, second former IPOB in this city. Of course, with the Mona Chief father here. I'm birthright, Mama. Wow, make any humans. Manal Babiashi back full time. I promise you, national coordinator. Question I'm telling you, Mazi. What to go my first question? Second one, now every Biafran must be IPOB. Number one question. Then, second one, when the Biafra Nobi carry the main IPOB members, but due to one thing or other, or put in social media, but on the ground, they are supporting IPOB, they are in support of Biafra restoration. So this has been a problem I want to sort out, and in presence of you to sort it out so that I know how to handle them in case if it comes on my table next time. Or we will only one hour get IPOB, and every Biafra must be IPOB. Kamadi only get IPOB, then we Biafra. Now support the hand and other acceptable. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It is not compulsory for every Biafran to be IPOB, but by identity, every Biafran is an indigenous person of Biafra. Yes, sir. You're talking about participating, being part of. in a gafe, Honda now, guest and your had to speak and all. It's open on now. Do you understand?
Yes.
Onye, one day now, or say had to seek and all. Onye, so open on now. We need our people. I don't expect a Biafran diplomat to come out openly to join IPOB. It's not possible. I don't expect those that work in the military, in the police, to come out and say openly, I am IPOB. If they do it, how do we get all our information from? So we need some that will be on the ground, getting us information. But they must support what we are doing. Must. Because our brother talked, the first question was about development. Are we going to grow as a nation? I'm sorry to digress a bit, but it's very important. There are those that will not come into Biafra land. Those that heard the gospel and said, no, we won't be a part of it. Okay, and we see Biafra, Biafra. Such people will not enter Biafra land, and I'm telling them now, so they can go and join Jubril and Fulani to plan and plot against IPOB and Biafra. And they can't stop us. They can never stop us. Nobody can stop Biafra from coming. Because heaven has written it. I'm not asking some of you for the wall on Lagos and Abuja. And as I kept saying, this one that the entourage of Jubril came and was hiding somewhere. Some of you may have interest with them. It's understandable. You don't want to be open. But go and see coordinator at night and say, don't mention my name. And support. If you hear other people discussing Biafra and something, you ask them to go and join IPOB. I cannot join for XYZ reason in the open. But I'm a member at the back. But for anybody to think that we will die and sacrifice ourselves to get Biafra, then first class and plane now into Biafra land. You are wasting your time. God in heaven knows. We hold you at the airport. With interest. Before you come in. The thing we are judging, they are the saboteurs that will sabotage the Biafra nation. Oh, brand new time, you hear him. I'm telling you the truth. If you're planning to continue from where Ifajuna or Babiasika, or where was that Ebony State, from Ebony State governor? The saboteur now? Mba. No. No. Not Ebu. What's his name? Ebony State. The governor after Sam Ebu. What's his name? Elechi. Martin Elechi was a hardened saboteur during the war. Hard saboteur during the war. Such people will not exist in the new Biafra we're building. By the grace of Elohim in heaven. They will not. So anybody thinking, look at our lives now. All of us here together in Japan, in Tokyo, town hall meeting. All of you are now comfortable that a Sudanese man is the president of Nigeria. Yoruba, vice. Fulani, Senate president. Some of course, the Biafran, of course, is a deputy from Urobo. And are you complaining? Are you complaining?
Yes, sir, we are complaining.
Underground.
Yes.
So that's all you pass away and complaining on the ground. Do you see how we are complaining underground?
Yeah.
As you said, but we lack the liver to do anything. They come to your land and they take your land. Get the pictures of high in the morning. Is it like that settlement in Ebonyi or the one in Enugu?
Yeah, the one in Ebonyi.
With the round mud houses in your land. You're not complaining. And somebody will find fault with IPOB. He said, no, now we're human beings. You've not found fault with the fact that you cannot fly into Biafra land with a aeroplane. No fault. Then you have to go to Lagos to clear your car when you import it into the zoo. No fault that you have no good roads. No fault that Fulani, they are coming in and raping our mothers in our land, abomination. You found no fault. But the people trying to liberate you, all of a sudden you have found fault in them. And you're telling me you're a human being. You are not human to me.
Stupidity of the worst order.
This is the worst type of stupidity. You have no issues with people coming to your land and desecrating it. But those telling you, now look here, something is happening. You have issues with them. And you're telling me you're Igbo, you're a Biafran. No, you don't have any brain upstairs. Thank you very much.
IPOB, one family. IPOB, one family. One family. IPOB. Hamadika, good evening. Personally, my names are, I'll have to say High Chief. High Chief Charles Mokage. The Agujego, one family. I'm on with the keys. Mariaya. David and then you are Odron Chief. In high name and Amasia, and then my cameras they open. You people here, you have solved the problem we have in Japan here. What we saw yesterday is a tip of iceberg. Now, we got 40 Biafrans in Japan in every support you want. All these people they are go report to General Buhari. I'm a politician, APC, national delegate. But we have Biafra at mind. That because people will be fired here. You know, like yesterday. Is that I'm actually my appear na screen because my picture na so rock. And I got never information of Nagaya was there. And immediately today I have an agreement that there's no filming. We clear everything open here. I didn't hear about me now. They for Biafra. When they do catch, never for Biafra. When they know what information for Biafra, then go about Madika energy. First of all, I congratulate you for EU and you are the Yes. You were here in 2005? 15, sorry. When we were there, at town hall meeting, more I better want an open meeting. Our town hall can let the camera go out. Those are now we on our own. At least the camera, people they run. You understand? We all are working together. That's why we don't need the camera. So we have no province in there now. Japan. was number one in the whole world. Please, I want Japan put legacy idea. I want those of you here.
Yes.
Only Bia or join here. Legacy idea that Japan here, we had about Biafra, what Biafra is going to be. Because there's no Japanese man, Nala Nigeria, will police escort Naga, because I made any reggae here. Japan from one more than any part of the world. Also, Japan came where the other Aboku, the Wapata. Mbia Benia said, Biafra man, my happen in my bedroom. J. Wahoo, the man my book, and now, because I'm going to keep here. So you want that Japan, e.g. Biafra. And you want to go reading. I'm from the about war. From now, you got for more. Because problem I want to hear, under this IPOB issue, but I am not a member of IPOB, to be saboteur.
Yes.
No, not you. Let me tell you. Or how my ticket is too much. You know, because I'm prepared, I'm going to be here. That now when you answer it, we do our own job. Whatever I'm going to call them, I'm not authority here. How my ticket? I can acquire 80 people at a go and decide to go phone call here now.
I go
It's a guy here, you are very, very much welcome. I baby, I can have support 2-4 now. From now onwards, without none of Japan. I think I feel here.
I want to see. When you actually that, I need to code just over the code. Hold on.
I go to the Canadian body. Hi, Chief. And there one. Emma, aha, on at the mojo. Imagine at the mojo, I go one weekend. And when you have to go to Napa, there one. And I'm making a body boo. And IPOB Japan. Onye ọbụla woman n'anyị ka ha wụ na njem anyị na-aga. You know, when they can have 2 okwute, when they can ekpe ekpere, when they can agba aja. And we're going to get so that's how it is. We are all one people. If you know what you can do, you do it. Please, we are all one. Somebody may not appear, doesn't mean that that person is a saboteur, because there are bound to be warriors that will go to the war front. The generals will plan from the planning room. The logistics will supply. And then the infantry will do the killing. Thank you very much.
IPOB, 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 one family. I'm so happy tonight. My name is Abekiebe. Ugofiwan Nomuju. Obijuma for too much if my leader today. Nobody not going to Nigeria, but we thank God not total. And I believe the too much Leon and mental slavery our people today. The increase I know because I believe in our country with mental slavery. And he has helped so much to cure a lot of us. Out of it, I write a little bit my question. My question was our plan, just like our Liverpool, Washington match, 2 million match, okay. I believe some of us, different countries, are so much interested to be there. Can our DOS give us a documentation or clearance to assist us to apply for visa or eventually
Yes, we shall do so. We would like a contingent to come from Japan to the USA. For those who do not know, we are going to march on Washington, July of next year. We want to let the American government understand how influential and how big we are in the USA. So we'll be marching to the Capitol Hill next year, July. And we shall do everything humanly possible to make sure you get the relevant invitation to be able to apply for visa to be in the USA. We will do it, of course, we will.
IPOB.
One family.
IPOB.
One family.
One family.
IPOB.
Ahamwo Prince Jim de Sakatolu. No bingwa. Ahunu me kwesi. Ida kana bu burala. Obura thona la la. I'm sorry, like me use my language. I'm a member of Otawike group, which when you share him, tell you one question. My question, boo, I did a mutual question 101. Then my joy, 1 minute. So, my actually me a question. Basaran here in a Port Harcourt Road. When they make a bush and the man. So, also that now. The year cost for that kind of war. No, when you make a fidget, you mufti nearly. You army uniform. So, why here, Doctor Way? So, after my back, the year, and then I bought back up. I am what they got away. So, number one question. Then the second question again, Julia. Mgbe a bịara n'ụlọ gị, anọkwa m na Naịjirịa bịara ụlọ gị. So mgbe a bịara n'ụlọ gị, ọ dị awe? Ya sị na ọ dịghị awe. Na a bịara n'ụlọ gị. That is not awe. Na ihe niile a na-apara ya n'ụkwụ. Because when you join the question, I can remember I hụrụ na ọhụrụ m ekwesị. So that was the second time. So my home na ya bari. Major national guy for that day, which actually made you achieve again. So actually, I know from you whether my also occasion because it's our brother. So I have to get the support. I need to occasion there. Mbe Ottawa Ike actually go about after them because I'm an Bobo here. I'm going to go. So actually, take what room members are together. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
When I was released from prison, I wasn't expecting Aboga Wosa to speak to me. Every governor called me, except the man that says he's my state governor. The state house is within my father's jurisdiction. The state house in Onyendu is in my ancestral land. He never sent anybody to come to see me. He never extended the courtesy of a mere phone call, but that is by the way. When people started to come to my house to congregate, after the successful sit-at-home on the 30th of May of 2017, Mazi decided to be a mortal enemy of our people. The day that BBC was coming to interview me, I asked IPOB to come, and IPOB descended on Omwai. The crowd was unbelievable. What Mazi did was to lock up Government House and fled Omwai that day. Every commissioner closed shop and ran away. They said they're afraid of IPOB. You know very well that I went to go and see Abaribe in his house, and we addressed a joint press conference. And he asked me the same question, and I told him that I have nothing against Mazi. Absolutely nothing. But I will continue to do what I'm doing. Mazi is claiming he never knew anything. Go and watch his BBC Igbo interview. Has anyone seen it here?
Yes.
Don't listen to me. Don't take what I'm telling you as anything. Go and watch that BBC interview. If you don't have it, I will arrange for the officers to send it to you. Okay, Zibazu said that the killing of IPOB and what happened in my house was justified because they wanted to save our people in the north. Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Oh no, so we are sacrificial lambs for those that went to the north to go and build hotel. So when a governor speaks that way, you have reason to be concerned. As I said, I have nothing against him. We are apolitical, I'm not into politics. But I know that he also rigged the election for Jubril and gave him 23%. When Jubril did not get up to 2% of the vote in our land. Because they promised him they will make sure he goes back into power. Okay, Zipas unfortunately is one of the problems we have in our land. I lived in Aba as a child. Aba is an eyesore. He has not done anything developmentally to take our place forward. Okay, Zipas is owing salaries left, right, and center. People are suffering, people are dying. Do something small to show us that you are serious. And he has not been able to do it. Instead, in my own father's compound, he allowed the army to lay siege, even till now. And he thinks I will forgive him. He is the chief security officer of the state. But he is a representative of the caliphate in my state. And let me tell you one very funny story about where the government house is. Do you know where Biafra fell? Not in Omaya. Biafra fell in Isiama Faruku Ibeku, my compound. That was where Ojukwu took off from in a helicopter. There used to be a snake. My grandfather was the high priest. When the white man was coming, anytime that snake sees the white man, the snake will come out. White men will run away. Even in my own village, the elders conspired to go and remove the snake so that the white man can come. You see my house, in front of my house, is the boundary between what our village gave to white people, GRA, and Isiama Faruku. They removed the snake, and all of them died. The war ended in my village. The Biafran flag was lowered in my compound, and from there this flag shall fly again, never to fall.
Let him finish. Not yet.
You can do sir. I did another question on some treasure. Only one question on either at Japan here, if you can remember. As in the relationship, I ain't with the color. No other people, major and Hawaii. So, you check, like Muslim man of Nigeria these days. So, if you're in Nigeria, Muslim, they make this weird issue, get Biafra, one Igbo. Ebim na port. So, mbende na Port Harcourt, you may open one day Igbo also. Get there some other places on the. So, a little relationship I am with India and Abba. A little effort I make, and we put more interest. Because like my Calabiro and Calabar, you know that they always believe they don't trust an Igbo people. So, because among the relationship, and we're actually from there again. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Biko Nunganti Ofuma, I would love you to listen very carefully to what I have to say. When I was arrested, the first people to protest against my arrest were mothers from Akwa Ibom. Akwa Ibom. The second people to protest are people from Bayelsa and Mbiama River, where the army came and shot people. Some people dead. Did you see the video of when I went to Ibocha? Have you seen it? I was having a meeting with the Ijo Youth Council, the elders, in a place called Niger Street, inside after the government house, inside the main town itself. The vehicle that I drive or they drive me in has no plate number. I arrived at Niger and the police surrounded my car. I said, who is this? When they told them that I'm inside the car, of course, you know what police do on the road when they see me. People there started spreading the message. Before we finished the meeting that lasted for only 45 minutes, there was no way out. Do you understand? There was no way out. The crowd and the multitude were unprecedented. And nobody called them. It's just somebody telling the next door neighbor. Do you know that people marched from Abo? And they went to Enugu for 4 days.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
Has that ever happened before?
No, sir.
The same people, they say we are Nyama, we are Delta, we are Niger Delta. They marched from Abo to Enugu with leg. On their way back, they closed Niger Bridge for 4 days. All over the world. It was then, I will digress now, it was then Obasanjo, IBB said, give Igbo's presidency during the blockade of River Headbridge, Niger, to tell you how foolish Ohaneze and the Ibanzo and their group, how useless they are. Instead of them to go to the government and say, yes, these are our people, but give them something now if you want them to stop what they're doing. You know what they did? They gave Ohaneze 5 million naira only. Blocking of road is bad. This thing they are doing, we will call them to order. They are our children. That presidency that we are begging you to take to unblock Headbridge, Niger, because the world is watching. Now you are begging for it, you can't even get it. Now, do you understand? Everybody is with us. Everybody is with us. Let me give you a secret. They said they are waiting for our draft constitution. Around 11:45 by. Clock with KB 6 a.m. Who's in Hannah again? I'm for it. So they want it in black and white on a piece of paper to say that every nation will be in charge of their own affairs. And then I assure you, even Southern Kaduna will apply to join Biafra.
Yeah, please. After Honorable KK question right now, we may need only more 2 questions from the floor. Okay, 3. After him, 3 and no more. Okay? After Honorable KK, 3 more people and then no question. We need to take picture and everyone go home. Yeah, and please, people are commenting that you should ask your questions in English, not in Hebrew again. So, Honorable.
Ohamadike, let me use this opportunity to welcome you again. My name is Okeke Kevin Christian. I'm from Opa in the Demile local government area of Anambra State in Biafra land. I've been following what you've been doing, and to be sincere, initially, I'm just telling you to be sincere. Initially, I believed in your ability, which I still believe till today, but the only problem I had then was the way you were handling affairs. Maybe people that are with me understand that. But I came now to understand that even that your way is working very well and will get us faster. So, but there is one decision taken that I've been trying to wrap my brain around that. How did it go? Just like I used to like the former president of America, who was Obama. But there was one diplomatic move he made that made me, even if I have the opportunity, I will still ask him, because I was wondering what was going on his brain that very day. That was how he sent Kelly to go and meet with the northern governors and didn't try to meet with the eastern governors in a country like that. At that time, I really don't understand that diplomacy, and I really want to know the answer. That's when I see him. So same to you. Maybe what I'm asking you might not be for the public consumption, but you can, if you try to answer it, it's okay, but if you can't, I can understand. Maybe some other time we can talk about it. You know, like somebody was saying, the Igbos don't have a king. But I clearly understand that we do this time. Because whatever you say, you say is being obeyed. And that is how it's done when you put a crown on somebody's head that he becomes a king. So when you give orders and people do it, automatically is the king. And so I understand you as the king of Igbo as of present now. So, but is this decision you made, that was when you boycott the election, just 2 days to the election, you lifted, I believe that was what I had in the social media. Yes. You lifted the power. And rumors I was hearing is that they met our conditions. I really want to ask you, what led to just 2 days? Because people could have gotten the PVC and the rest of them to prepare them to do it, despite the fact that I know in Nigeria, your PVC doesn't work. You understand? But I wanted to know what led to you consenting, not consenting, but consenting to that idea, please. I would like to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairman. You see, somebody said here a while ago that we have no kings. And the fact that when we give orders that people obey means that when people give me orders, I should obey it as well. Do you know it works both ways? You give order, people obey. When people give you order, you also have to obey it. 2 things happened. As an hour to Tanketa column, he goes here and they can out to Yambo. We've been saying that your PVC is useless. We need to prove to the world that PVC is useless. That's number one. Number two, the pressure was so much. Everybody that knew me, the pressure was so much. Name the people, the who is who in our land, kept calling and begging. They even said, open here, Kojukume, or lose all the war. These are elderly men. That Peter B is there. It's now our turn and I want to spoil it. Do you know what they were building us up to do? To say that this man doesn't listen to advice. And that would have given them the justification to derail IPOB project and what we are doing. So sometimes in life, on point of principle, you have to be flexible. Because they said to me, if you continue this way, this Biafra is going to be a dictatorship. Anybody who disagrees with you, you will kill the person. I knew it was a very clever trap. Because some people have said to them, he is very stubborn. He won't listen. All the time. He listens to nobody. He respects nobody. Every archbishop you know, every bishop you know, every Igwe, everybody kept ringing me. I asked them to go and extract conditions, which they did. And I have it till tomorrow morning. But let me tell you something. Where is that our brother that talked about secrecy? It's not everything you say in the open. Olago? Because of him, if I publish the agreement we had, do you think that EU would invite me? I will go to UN. They'll say anything you tell him in confidence, if he goes outside, he will just spill it all over the place. People can no longer take me into confidence. I lifted the boycott for two reasons. One, to show you that PVC is useless, which the zoo has confirmed. And secondly, to show that we in IPOB, we also listen to people. It's not just about us.
Ohamadike, my supreme leader, you're welcome again once again to Japan. I am Prince Ihia Sotong Obinna from Atasukwan in Imo Province, Biafra land. Maybe you recognize my face. I'm one of the Biafran pioneers, IPOB pioneers in Tokyo. One of the 3 delegates that welcomed you at the airport and stayed with you at the airport in Ikeja, in Narita, when you came in 2015. So, my director, my question is as simple as this. We recognize and acknowledge the fact that you, our leader, and the IPOB in general have been making every frantic diplomatic efforts to restore Biafra through our dialogue and engagement with the international communities and countries all over the world. Recently, you've gone to the EU, you've gone to the UN, and stuff like that. And to the best of my knowledge, as it is in my heart, I've been in Japan for more than 20 years. I'm really, really hungry to go back home. I'm tired, so to say, staying here. If Biafra will come tomorrow, I will be the happiest man. And that is why I am in this struggle. I remain a hardcore Biafran man till I die. Even if I die for Biafra to come, I will sacrifice it, no matter what happens. So, my director, I recognize the fact there are two ways for us to be free from the or from the zoo, so to say. That is through referendum or international intervention, or by marching. Then my question goes this way, my director. After making all these efforts, all these diplomatic efforts, maybe for us to gain our referendum or international intervention for us to gain our freedom, and it did not yield, supposing it did not yield any positive response. What is, do we have the second option of marching? And if we do, how, irrespective of our efforts internationally to restore Biafra, are we making any preparations towards our marching? Because I wish, if option A did not work, the best option is to go for option B, which, irrespective of the fact that I'm in Japan, I will equally volunteer to participate in the option B if need be, if it is the only option left on the table. So please, my director, give us a clue of what we should expect for our
I think that I'll be able to say in the open, but all options are on the table. I'm not sure that the diplomatic channel will fail because of one thing. And as I said to them at the EU, if you allow us to take option B, which is to march, Syria is a child's play. You're only complaining about 4,000 refugees. You will get 40 million at your doorstep. 40 million people will be seeking asylum in Europe. And you can't say no because there is war.
Or more.
Or even more. Because everybody else will use it as an excuse. So they understand. And the diplomatic channel is going to work. And if it doesn't work, I keep saying this and I'll be saying it from day one. They will kill us. We will kill them. In the end, we win. And Biafra will come.
IPOB! IPOB! One family! Please, Gemini, just one person. I will give one person chance. That's the lady in the house. And that will be the last question. And my...
No question. Just what you
okay, suggestion. Okay.
just want to
Please go ahead. Make it.
IPOB.
One family.
IPOB.
One family.
One family.
IPOB.
Ohamadike. Welcome, sir. Abambo. Is it Juliana Chinwe Egeru? No. Onyendu Ehime. So I just want to say thank you very much for your coming to Japan. I am so happy to see you, Ohamadike. People calling you Ohamadike, calling you our prophet, calling you Onyamuma. Manamuwa bu Juliana Chinwe Egeru. I call you computer Mochi. You are too much. Even one of my sisters living in Italy always crying because of you. always crying. My sister always crying. Sometimes they say, it just, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do because of Hamadike, because of our leader. I'm so happy to see you today. I'm very, very happy. May Chukwu bless you. We are going and coming in, you will be blessed. Our first lady, our Lord, Uchechi, KANU, Kachukwu Kikadiama protect ya ihe obula ka ọ na-eme ebe obula ọ na-eje site na Chukwu Kikadiama. Thank you.
Because my national coordinators, are we in our national coordinator here in Japan have a question for all of us there. So let him throw the question and then if we have an answer for it.
IPOB, IPOB. I know the time has been late. Onyendu came to Japan, to Tokyo. After the town hall meeting, we'll have another town hall meeting on Monday, on a day like this, before he travel back. And we promised him something. Where is Agujo? We made a promise to him. How can we contribute? He told us, he mentioned number. We can provide this, he will capture at least Port Harcourt. That time. We all agreed to do that. But after he went back, anybody will call. Now, today, they make another promise again. Before we call for town hall meeting, or when we were struggling, the IPP were struggling to pay for tickets, we wrote letters to the unions, to every union in Tokyo. Even we sent a message to the elite. I hear they said they will do something. Coordinator, is there anything? Okay. Now we are here again, telling Onyendu that we are going to do. We want us to start doing it by next IPOB meeting. Even if you didn't go, even if you didn't come, try to send a message. That is the only way we can have more confidence to be doing what we are doing. Today, actually, I was having a discussion with Onyendu. Today, this afternoon, I was having a discussion with him in the afternoon. I slept because of tiredness. Money will play. Only IPO, only few we are. Things are getting difficult for us. You people have to make it easy for us. Please, we need the money. We need the money. For the first, new joke, we don't have to buy in the world.
IPOB, and why actually is a picture? And why actually is a can you literally do question first? Hold on. Can you literally put you question more? Can you choose a question over picture?
Go straight.
And why you choose a question over picture?
Go straight.
Not 1 minute. No, we are done. I know that. Please, let me use this opportunity to thank everybody for coming to this great gathering. And then I also want to use this opportunity to ask us, like I told us in the beginning, that we have our registration session for those who wants to register with IPOB here in Tokyo. It doesn't matter if you are in Tokyo or not, but register with us. We will contact you. We will send your information to the appropriate zone, please, and also attach your number to it so that we can reach you and then give you all the information that you require. Our registration is free, so don't be scared. Come there and register, okay? And I've shown you our coordinators and then also their deputies, so that to make the work easier for every one of us. So we have to be orderly for this picture to take place, unless if we don't want it, then I will call it off. Thank you very much. So Tokyo coordinator, please line the people up, maybe 5-5, I don't know, to make it easier. 5-5 will be. Excuse me, 1 minute, please. Excuse me, 1 minute. I don't want what happened in Ikebukuro yesterday to happen again. Otherwise, like I said, you'll be deprived of that opportunity. I want all the IPOB principal officials, please, first to come to this place. If you are an IPOB principal officers, please come to the table. Principal officers, I said, IPOB, please. I don't know. It's okay, right? Biko, can you cut that in seconds?